The union representing employees working in 5 Pacific Region Coast Guard stations says your lives are about to be put at risk and is pointing its finger at the federal government. The members work at communications and traffic service centers that oversee the safety of vessels out on our waters. They say the government is looking at reducing staff levels in those centers and it's going to hurt mariners on Vancouver Island. CTV's Gord Kurbis has the story.
He has spent much of his life out on the sea, and now this Comox sailor says Coast Guard staffing cuts being proposed by the federal government will lead to difficulties out on the water.
By reducing the staffing the way they're doing, the existing staff are going to get further and further behind in their training. So not only is there going to be less people working, but the people that are working are not going to be adequately trained.
Don Jarrow is a former supervisor at the Marine Communications and Traffic Services Center out at Comox. He retired 5 years ago, but says staff level cuts being proposed now are similar to what was tried and failed back in 1998.
There was a lot of incidents that couldn't get covered. The people that were working at the centers were totally overstressed and overworked. They couldn't handle it.
And you were one of them?
I was one of them, yeah.
Fog implies visibility less than 1 mile.
Jarrow says he and everyone else on the water relies on important weather information collected and forwarded to mariners by center staff. Marine communications officers say vital weather reports will likely become less frequent if the federal government goes ahead with reducing on-duty staff levels.
All of the officers on this coast, 100 of them, are concerned for the safety of mariners that we serve in the coastal communities because there isn't going to be enough resources to draw on, even for a moderate incident such as a vessel striking a log and taking on water and potentially sinking.
5 centers in BC will be affected by the changes, which could begin as early as February. They're in Comox, Prince Rupert, Vancouver, Sydney, and Ucluelet.
We're the 911 of the sea. When somebody picks up a radio and they're in trouble, they could be in a kayak, they could be in a remote logging camp, they could be in an aircraft or a pleasure craft. They call us on the radio, we respond.
But the union's regional director says the actions of staff members and therefore these cuts affect the lives of far more than just boaters.
All the public should be concerned because they also sail on BC ferries and we provide vessel traffic services. And in the summer months between May and October, we also have cruise ship traffic that transits to Alaska. Tankers that enter Juan de Fuca Strait and go to Vancouver and also into Seattle every day. And our people are the ones that regulate those vessel traffic movements.
The union says the Coast Guard, through the Department of Fisheries and Oceans, will begin testing the waters with reduced staff levels beginning next week. They're hoping the public will help them pressure the Minister of Fisheries and Oceans to reverse the government's direction. Gord Kurbis, CTV News, Comox.